We are back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show, Saturday edition. My name is Joshua Burney, aka Joshua B, the public speaking rapper with an English degree.
And I'm Octavia B, your public speaking poet with a science degree.
All right, well listen, we're back here at the show. We're very pleased because right now we have our If You Only Knew segment.
Right.
And Octavia, of course, is going to ask the question for today. So whenever she's ready, she can fire off, and while she's still preparing, again, the If You Only Knew segment is about sharing people's stories, whether through questioning or whether you just send us your story. Everyone has a story to tell. You don't know whose life you're going to affect by that story. So send in your stories, and we would love to discuss them and read them over the air. Mm-hmm. And if you're not comfortable, just tell us that you want to be anonymous, and we will not say your name. We've had people do that in the past before. All right. But outside of that, we ask each other questions. And this is definitely open to you all tuning in with us here at the morning show. Tell us what you're thinking and what would your response be? So when you're ready.
Okay. I need some more time, but I'm just going to throw one out there.
Okay.
Let's see. What is the biggest change you have made in your life in the last year? The biggest change that you made in your life within the last year. What is the biggest change you have made in your life within the last year? Or I can reword it.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I've talked about this previously on the show.
Mm-hmm. And
I think it's something that I've had to do continuously throughout my in certain stages of my life. Mm-hmm. I'm reminded of the same lesson, and that is not caring what people think. Because, for example,
that's good.
I hate the word arrogant. I hate that word. And people will call you names based off of their insecurities mm-hmm. and lack of something, although you have it. Mm-hmm. And at times I have to be reminded that it doesn't matter what people think about me. So, for example, I learned that lesson my senior year of high school when I sat at the lunch table by myself. Mm-hmm. I learned that in college when I was about to become BSU president, and then mm-hmm. at that moment in time, Brianna had passed away, and that was a reminder that it didn't matter what people thought. And I've learned that lesson. It was reminded to me after that fact when I was working at Enterprise and I was doing things my way, and it turned out to be successful, and I didn't care what people thought. Mm-hmm. Even though I got that lackadaisical, mediocre review, that taught me it doesn't matter what people think about me.
Right.
And so now in this last year, I had to be reminded of that based off of everything I've been reading in the Bible, how God has directed me in that, mm-hmm. and the experiences and the information that I possess. That sometimes I would be afraid to say it, and thinking that someone would think, oh, well, maybe he doesn't have the right information, maybe he's young. So I'm thinking of all these things, but I'm just reminded that it doesn't matter what people think about me. Yeah. Because so far, yes, I've made changes throughout my life, but mm-hmm. being who I am has gotten me to where I am.
True.
And so that is one of the biggest things that I would say I've changed in the last year, and really setting my mind in that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
That was a good answer.
What about yourself? And again, it doesn't have to be anything deep at all, because Mrs. Hogue says her hair.
Yeah, and she did. I was one of the ones that was like, no, Lindsay,
don't get the dreads.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that told her no. But seeing her hair and seeing how much it's grown and seeing that how much it fits her, mm-hmm. I actually really love it. Like it really fits her. Like I couldn't do that.
And that's a big thing. Your hair is a big thing.
Yeah, it really fits her. I cut mine last time. But yeah,
look, you're a lucky one, because I have some friends of mine right now who I pray cut their dreads. O'Shea is definitely one of them. I tell O'Shea every time. I've already said, look, I tell O'Shea every time. This is nothing new. I tell O'Shea every time, you need to cut your dreads. Please do it, okay? And some dreads don't work for some people. Like me, dreads wouldn't work for me.
They wouldn't work for me
Okay.
either. Imagine us with the dreads.
Oh, Lord.
But Lindsay...
I was about to say something.
But Lindsay, like, it really looks good on her. And I look at her hair from when she started it and just the process that she went through and the growth. And, you know, it just really looks good on her.
Yeah, dreads are
and it works perfectly for her lifestyle. Because she's a fitness trainer. Who wants to have to straighten your hair every day or whatever? So it works perfectly for her. And she's also a nurse.
Okay, well, we've gotten my response saying not to care what people think. And we've gotten Mrs. Hope's response and her hair changes. So what about you, Mrs. Octavia Burney, the public speaking poet with the science degree? Yo, that junk is flame, by the way. I just absolutely love that junk. That junk is flame. But anyway, go ahead.
For me, I know I started off wrong. For me, it was also not caring what people think, and also starting and really going for my business. Because at first it was just like, it's just something I do, it's a hobby, blah blah blah. But once I really was like, okay, this is a business, I have to take this more seriously. Within the last year, my customers have increased. I now have my own office. I am pushing myself to do bigger and better things and putting myself out there to be uncomfortable in situations where, you know, I can be sitting with people that are like millionaires and you're sitting there like, do I say something? Do I not say something? But there's a time and a place to speak, and sometimes you just need to listen. And so I've realized that within the last year that sometimes it's better to listen than speak. And so with my business and everything else that I have going on, I'm just very grateful and not to listen to what people think or say about me, or even the little tidbits that people try to give you of advice. And you listen to it and you like...
Yeah, you said that recently, didn't you?
I'm not taking that advice, because even though I am intelligent and I love science and I love doing all those things, just because I have a business and something totally different does not mean that I lack. My intelligence is gone. It's still there. So I think to not really care what other people think. And then I push forward my business, which has helped not only our household, but the community, which is something I really wanted to go for. Okay.
That's amazing. Matter of fact, that reminds me of something. So I'll touch on that. I want to read Mrs. Holt's comment. And thank you for sharing, by the way. Definitely appreciate that. But it's going to segue. I wanted to get to the comment first, and I didn't want to leave them hanging, because we try to get to them in a timely manner, and I just said the most unimportant information possible. But anyway, she said, well, in my profession, I was worried, and now I'm like, forget these folks. And you know what? It's true. Again, you do worry about those things, like will they accept my hair? Because we know that's always been a discussion, especially like within the Black community. It's like, if we have certain type of haircuts you have to have, or feel like you shouldn't. And so I think that's very standing for the power of the hair.
Right, because I remember working at, I'm not even going to say the office, because I don't know if they're watching, but I remember working at a doctor's office, and I would wear my curly fro to work, and some of the girls would be like, they would have on their like wigs or whatever, and they would kind of look at me like, I can't believe you wear your hair like that. And with me, I'm like, it's my hair, it's not yours, and this is me, and this is my personality, so why are you saying something to me about my hair? At least it's mine, like, but
that's why I laugh. Like, at least it's yours.
It's mine, but I guess some people, they look at things differently, because that's just who they are. They prefer to do different things, and I just prefer to wear my natural hair and embrace who I am.
Well, I want to address what Ms. Hope said. She says that it's fun. The funny thing is, it was only Black people saying it was unprofessional. Every corporate America job I've had never said anything.
That is very true.
And in addition to that, the most that I've heard them say in rejection of an outer appearance wear would be like your earrings and possibly your tattoos. Those are the only things that I've heard. I think it's, one of those, we can't say we don't accept you because of your dreads. I don't know. But again, most of the people that I have heard say this are Black people.
Right.
And
that's true, because the other people of other races be like, oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my God, I love it. Those are the ones that compliment you. But then people of your own race kind of be like, why she do her hair like that? And it's
to her comment though, they're the ones saying, oh, you shouldn't do that in corporate America.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I experienced when I used to wear my hair like that in the doctor's office. Because
I see how you looked at that.
Everybody else be like, oh my God, I love your hair. But then people of my own color be like, why you wear your hair like that? And that's